Hi everyone, Joe and I are here again today to talk you through a process for breaking down goals. Now, often what happens when you're having a coaching conversation is the client comes with quite a broad area that they're trying to work on, which might have lots of different parts to it that they need to move forward. And so when you're in a particular coaching session or conversation, it can be really helpful to the client to get real clarity over the different component parts of their goal and which of those are important for them to be able to move forward. So this particular process takes your goal from sort of a high level down through a funnel so that you come out with something really clear and specific at the end of it. So Joe's volunteered to be the coachee, so I'm going to ask Joe some questions to help us break down her goal into something really clear that she can work on.
Yeah, and this is a really useful exercise when your coachee is feeling a bit overwhelmed and don't really know where to start. And so they feel like they've got this big, hairy, audacious goal that they feel very small in relation to. So just helping them to crack that nut into smaller bite-sized chunks. So it's a clear step-by-step process for that.
Fab. So, Joe, what's the sort of goal area that you're thinking of working on?
Yeah, so I'm currently working on my coaching accreditation.
Okay. And what are you thinking you might want to achieve with that?
So in my head, I've got lots of things that I need to do, and I know I need to complete the application. And what need is a clear plan,
Yeah.
so that I know exactly what I'm doing in order to achieve that by the middle of August. That's the
Okay.
date I've set myself.
Okay. And is this something that's completely within your control?
Putting together the application and a strong application is in my control. Obviously, the assessment isn't within my control,
Okay.
but putting together the application is.
Cool. Okay, so if you go forward to a point in time when you've achieved this particular goal,
Yeah.
what's happening for you there?
So I get an email. Oh, no. Yes, maybe I get an email back to say, thank you for your application. We'll be in touch to advise of the next steps.
Great.
And I will be satisfied that I have put together all of the evidence that does justice to my experience. And also, I've created a strong narrative around the accreditation that I'm going for.
So I'm hearing it's not just about submitting it, but actually the process of writing it, you've done a good job of, and you're confident and satisfied that you've got what you
Yeah,
need in there.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what are you doing then, which shows that you've achieved those things?
Um, so in the process, I need to be disciplined. I need to be bold. I've got to ask for recommendations that meet the criteria. I need to do a bit of archaeology, through files to pull out things, throughout my coaching journey over the last 10 years. And even the story begins before that.
Yeah.
I need to persevere. I need to keep myself motivated,
Yeah.
and I'll just need to keep going back through and drafting until I get to that point where I feel like, yes, that's it.
Okay. And how are you feeling about it?
Well, I felt all sorts of feelings so far, everything from overwhelm, panic, fear, um, but I think I'm more getting to a place of contentment,
Okay.
in that I've got an understanding of what I need to do, which I didn't have originally. So that feels good.
Okay.
And now I have a sense of determination. But by the point I've achieved it and I've sent it off, I'll feel really satisfied and proud and hopeful, and yeah, a sense of anticipation.
Awesome. Okay. So it sounds like there's a lot involved in the whole process of getting it done. So if if you were to imagine a pie or a pizza or a wheel or whatever you want with lots of different slices, can you think of what the different component parts are to you being able to achieve this goal?
Okay, so um, time management,
Mhm.
research,
Yeah.
um, coherence,
What do you mean
or
by coherence?
or storytelling, you
Yeah.
know, it making sense. Curation.
Yeah.
Um, time management, diary management. It keeps coming up, like
Yeah.
planning,
Yeah.
boundaries. I think they're the core parts.
Okay. Which one of those sort of core parts is the most important for you to address?
Time management, I
You
think.
did say it a number of times.
Yeah,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
it was
Yeah.
calling out.
Yeah. And what makes you choose that particular area?
Because I've got lots of demands on my time, and it would be very, I'm constantly prioritizing things and reprioritizing. So because this is only for me, it will be easier for me to push that out than the other demands that I have that have a direct impact on other people.
Yeah. Okay. And thinking about this as a component part and a priority, what's the advantage of really thinking about this area and focusing your efforts on that?
Because once I've ring fenced time, my achievement driver kicks in, and I know that I will get it done because my commitment to doing it is there.
Yeah.
It's just holding that boundary for the time. So if I can see that I've got that time planned in and I protect it, then I know that I'll complete it, and then I can enjoy the process more.
Cool. Okay. So where are you now in relation to your time management?
I haven't allocated any time towards it yet. So I know I need to, but I haven't actually done it.
Yeah.
So I guess in my mind, I've got a sense of how long roughly I think it will take, but it's difficult to tell.
Yeah.
And I need to make a decision about, how am I going to chunk my time off? Am I going to do this once a week between, now and then? And am I going to allocate an hour to it? Will I do it in the evening or the daytime?
Yeah.
So I haven't yet got to that point. And that would be really good to have a plan for.
So how are you going to know when you're one step closer to having this sort of time management piece sort of
probably just having it in my diary, and probably it's probably also about telling or agreeing with other people that have demands on my time, that this is a priority and this is when I'm going to do it, and this is the reason I'm doing it, and this is when I won't need to give that time anymore to it.
So if you had to state that then as a goal, how would you state that?
I have prioritized my accreditation application over in my diary, and I have allocated adequate time to it between now and the middle of August.
Great. Fab. I'm just writing that down because it'll probably come and revisit
it. A bit of a long one.
It is a long one. Okay, so the next step of this process would be that you would then take that goal and have a coaching session around that goal. Now, it sounds like that is what Jo is going to walk away with. So I've prioritized my accreditation application in my diary and I've allocated adequate time to it. But as you heard, as we were going through that process, it sounds like there's lots of things that could potentially get in the way of that. We heard that Jo has lots of demands on her time. We know that she has an achievement driver. So, that kicks in, that's important. So you've still got the opportunity to explore all different areas, such as her current reality and the different options that she's got, even for allocating this time to her diary. When might she choose that time? How might she structure it? So I would spend from here in a good sort of 30 minutes then exploring that goal before taking Jo to a point where she's able to decide those clear action steps for what she'll do moving forward. Any thoughts, Jo?
Yeah, and so where you probably would get to is bringing it into the short term, because when people are overwhelmed, they're often thinking about the whole thing from the beginning to the end. And what they can't see are those key milestones in between. So actually bringing your client's focus back into the short term, and even say, okay, over the next week, what are the actions that you're going to take? They're going to take you one step closer to achieving this, this plan that you would like to achieve. And what will it feel like, when you have achieved that? And that can just give the client a sense of relief. And obviously you've got to check that they have control. Going right back to the questions at the beginning, are they in control of achieving that?
Yeah, and that process of breaking down the component parts of a goal into a wheel or into a pie can be a really helpful thing. Certainly, if you're working on topics like career clarity or confidence or anything that is just so big, because you can break everything down, and you could even do that if you needed to 2 or 3 times until you get to something that the client feels is really, really manageable. So hopefully you found that walkthrough useful. Try it out and see how you get on.